witches, blessed be. This is WhiteRaven over here. Today's Monday, so happy Magic Monday to all of you guys. How are you, witches? Thank you so very much for all your support. You guys are so very wicked indeed. Thank you so much for everybody that's been buying the t-shirts and sending me pictures. Witches, I really need for you to send me your reviews, either inbox me or going to my Facebook page, WhiteRaven and Witches Lair, and leave a review of the products. That's going to help me tremendously. So I really hope that you guys do that for me. If you're new to this channel, my name is WhiteRaven and I'm here to teach you witchcraft, what it is to be a witch from my perspective. If this is something that interests you, please make sure to stick around, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you can get my videos every week. Today is no different from any other Monday. I have a video for you, and this is based on the request and all the emails that you guys send me. So many of you guys keep writing me, WhiteRaven, I want to be a witch. Can you help me? Can you be my mentor? Can you teach me one-on-one? It is my hope and my dream that eventually we can do some classes over here, which takes me to these questions. If I do classes, witches, what will be something that you guys will like to discuss? What are the things that you want me to be teaching you on? Obviously, these classes are going to be closed. It's not going to be just a video. It's going to be a different format, but I will love for you to share with me exactly what it is that you want me to teach you. Please email me at lairofthewitch@yahoo.com. I will love to have your input. So the video today is going to be about two things. I'm going to talk to you about the 10 things that were a complete waste of my money, or I don't use, or I completely lost interest, or they did not make any difference in my magical practice. And also, I'm going to share with you 10 things that till this day are the most important things and the most basic things that I use in my magic. Many of you guys are going to YouTube. I don't know about you guys, but I live in YouTube and there's so much information in YouTube. And you're going to see many videos like this ones that are going to tell you the most important things if you want to become a witch. These are going to pertain to your own life. This is going to pertain with what type of religion you want to follow with your witchcraft. If you want to follow any religion. Different religions, different paths are going to be doing different things. Before you become a witch, decide what is the path that resonates best with you. And you want to know something, which is you don't have to have any path. You can be agnostic. You can be an atheist. You do not have to follow any spiritual religion path at all if you want to become a witch. Having said that, I'm going to share with you the 10 tools that I really don't use at all. Number 1, the wand. I do not use this wand at all. I found my wand. I love it because I do love my wand. I even cut myself creating this one, so this one has some blood of mine, so this is 100% mine and I really love it. But witches, you know what, I don't use this wand at all, for nothing at all. So one is the first one on my list that I really don't use. Now, if you follow the Wicca path, for example, this is something that you may be using. If you are pagan, this is something that you may be using. In my particular craft, since I just practice witchcraft, I'm a witch, this is not necessary. I may be using this in a moment that I want to be more ritualistic, but in reality, this is not part of my spellcasting tools. Number 2, the chalice. When I started my path on witchcraft, I thought I had to be Wicca. And I'm not Wicca. That's a religious path. That's a spiritual path. You guys know that I learned with Silver Raven Wolf. That was my first book, which I still till this day recommend. Even though it's Wicca, but I still recommend. But a chalice is something that I don't use. I don't use at all. It's a representation in Wicca of the woman. So I don't use it. I don't use it at all. Number 3, the Athame. This knife It's a ritualistic knife and I don't use it. As a matter of fact, I gave my Athame to Hecate. The way it goes, you have the Chalis and the Athame is supposed to represent the man. And it's still kind of union. This is Wicca, it's pagan. I don't follow this. I'm not interested, does not resonate with me. I like this Athame. Charlie gave it to me. We bought this one at the Renaissance Fest and it's really beautiful. So I love this Athame. I gave it to Hecate. I think Hecate loves it. So here we go. And Athame is something that I'm never going to use for absolutely nothing. Nothing at all. And you don't need it either if you're not following a pagan Wicca or a Wicca path. Number 4, amulets or charms on me. Which is, I don't use any type of amulets. In the beginning of my path, I did use some amulets and whatnot. Nowadays, I love jewelry too much. I just charge my own jewelry with protection and whatever it is that I want. But I do not buy specific shape of amulets for me to wear. It's not what I do. I don't like it. I may wear it for some occasions, but that's not something I do as a witch, and that's not something you need to do either, unless of course you want to do it. Number 5, crystals. I'm not a crystal witch. I'm not a crystal witch. I'm not trying to bash the crystals. I just don't use crystals. And I'm just going to leave it there. They don't resonate with me. They may resonate with you. So in my particular case, crystals are something I don't spend money on. Number 6, the Besom. So Besom is like a little baby broom that a lot of witches use. Yes, I love my brooms. Okay, there was a time in my life that for years I drove with a broom in my car. And I'm not kidding. I know, crazy. But I don't use besoms. They're very ritualistic. They're used for cleansing and whatnot. I do think that everybody should have a little witchy broom at home. The brooms have a lot of folklore behind it, and you can do a lot of spells with brooms, but a besom, never. At all. Number 7, a ring of power. So in ritualistic magic, the witch is supposed to have a ring of power in the index of your dominant hand. I don't use any ring of power. Number 8, an Abalone Shell. If you buy sage, you know for a fact that sage is supposed to be burned in an abalone shell. I don't use abalone shells at all. That is another thing that you do not need. Everything, when you go and you buy sage online or whatever it is, they also want to sell you the abalone shell. You don't need this unless you want to use it. That is something that is not a must with your sage. You can grab your sage bundle and use your sage bundle. You can put your sage in your cauldron with a charcoal disc and burn it that way. You do not need an abalone shell. Number 9, robes. I never use robes. Never. In the beginning of my path, witches, there was a time in which I used to like to use my black robes and whatnot. I still have my robes and I think they're really beautiful, but that's something that you need to have? Absolutely not. Once you get all the basic things that you need and you want to get yourself a robe because it makes you feel good when you are doing some kind of spell, then by all means, go for it. But that is something that you don't need when you're going to be a witch. It's the hat either. You don't need a hat, you don't need a robe. You don't need neither one of those things in order to become a witch. If after you buy your real basic necessities, then if you want to buy a robe, you buy a robe. But that is not something that you need. Is that going to make you a better witch? Absolutely 100% no. You do not need a robe in order to be a witch. Number 10, matches. And I know this may sound kind of weird that I'm sharing this with you, but you have no idea how many times I've been judged in this channel because I'm using a lighter rather than using matches. No, you do not need matches. If you have a lighter, you have a lighter. And don't go crazy buying matches because that's what other people tells you. Okay, so now that we have this out of the way, the 10 things that are, to me, a waste of money in the beginning of your path, I'm going to talk to you about the 10 things that in all the years that I've been a witch have proven to be the most important tools in my specific path. Now I am not a religious witch. I do not belong to any spiritual path. I am a witch and I practice witchcraft. So based on my own path, these are the things that have proven throughout the years to be things that I cannot live without. Number 1, you need a place of focus. Other people call this an altar, a shrine. You need a place of focus. You need a little corner. Even if it's just a small table, you need a place to focus. A place that you can call your magical spot. You must have a little table with spiritual symbolism. And that spiritual symbolism is going to be based on what you are following. If you are following Wicca, then you're going to have the god and the goddess and all the things that you are going to feel make you focus in what you're doing. If you are following Santeria, then you're going to have your altar with your orishas. If you're following voodoo, you are going to have your altar with your spirits and your loas. Which is, when I started, I had no money to buy statues. A lot of these statues are really expensive. So you know what? A picture will do. Just symbolic stuff. But you are going to need a place that you can call your magical spot. Number 2 is going to be a bell. Which is, and I am not sharing this in any type of order of importance. They are all important in my life. Now, bells are really important to me because they cast away evil and negative energies. So if I come home one day from work and I'm completely charged with negativity from the outside, when I come into my house, I love to do this to my body. I even have a cowbell. I'm not joking. The stronger the negativity, the harder I'm going to make this noise. This is my cowbell. These are part of my everyday magical workings. Number 3, incense. Now, which is, you're going to need not only the incense, obviously, but you're going to need something to burn your incense on. A few years ago, my very beautiful friend from India gave me this, and this was her incense burners. I inherit this from her. This is her incense. You put the incense here, it's going to stand up in here, and it's going to just burn in this little plate. This is sandalwood that I'm going to light right now, and this is the way you use it. If you don't have those type of incense burners, you can have your regular incense burners, which is, and you know what, you can put an incense stick in a little pot with dirt. You're also going to have some charcoal discs. And the charcoal disc you're going to put in a container that is fireproof and that is heat proof. And you are going to then, instead of having your incense stick, you're going to add your resins into that container. Okay. Number 4, candles. Which is, candles are very important in your magic. I have candles in every color you can imagine. This is something that is readily available everywhere, especially online. But let's say you don't live in a place that you can get access to all these colors. Then you're just going to be using just regular tea lights, which is, or just regular white candles. You do not need color candles in order to do your magic. However, you do need the candle. You can do so much magic with your candles. There's a few things that are a must, and candles are one of them. Number 5, jar, which is, you're going to need jars. The jars that I'm showing you are some of the products that I'm going to be sharing with you guys coming up soon. But you're going to need jars. You need jars in order to put your spells, in order to put your herbs, in order to put your things. You need jars. The thing is that every time you go grocery shopping and you buy things, you buy sauce for your spaghettis, you buy pickles, you buy olives, you have jars. Save those jars. You can design things in your jars. You can do so many beautiful things with your jars. Just make sure you have your jars, because jars are so important when it comes to spell casting, when it comes to saving things, when it comes to storing things. You need jars. Number 6, which is divination tools, and in particular, one divination tool. It is extremely important that you have a divination tool when you're a witch. One. You need to get good at one. You can have as many as you want witches, but you do not have to buy a tarot deck, an oracle, a pendulum, a scrying mirror, runes. You don't have to have all the divination tools in the world. You need one, and you need to get good at it at one. So divination tool is a must. In my case, I got really good at the tarot. My favorite tool of divination is going to be a tarot deck. Number 7, the one and only, the cauldron. I cannot tell you how important in my life is my little cauldron. I use this baby for everything you can imagine. My cauldron is my life. This baby is the most important thing. It's so versatile. I can use it for so many things. And take, which is, I know this is what I have over here. It's a cast iron cauldron. Maybe in your country you don't have this. When I started back in Puerto Rico, I had a pot. I'm going to put a picture over here of this amazing pot that we all use in Puerto Rico. This was my cauldron. So what I'm trying to tell you with this is that your cauldron doesn't have to be something that looks like this. Your cauldron is going to be your container in which you're going to be burning things, dedicating things, mixing things. Your cauldron is a must. If you're going to be practicing witchcraft and you are going to be doing spells, your cauldron is one of the most important tools in your tool. Number 8, which is super important, your mortar and your pestle. Now, I'm going to tell you this. A lot of the kits that they sell in Etsy and Amazon, the mortar that they have is a mortar that does not work. You need a mortar that is heavy and then it's made out of granite like this, because when you put your herbs in here, you really want to grind them. If you have an electric one, then use an electric one. The coffee grinders are awesome. I do recommend for you to have at least 2. One for dark magic and another one for all the good magic. If you can have 3, so you can divide dark magic, love magic, prosperity magic, and everything else, I will recommend that too. I have a few of these ones and I have a few of the electric ones. So I have both and they're divided based on the magic that they do. Number 9, a notebook. Get your notebook, lead pencils, graphite, charcoal, and some color pencils as well. They're going to work wonderfully in your magic, because whenever you want to write things that you learn, you want to have your book where you can go and research what you have learned. And also any spell that works for you, you want to make sure that you make those notes and you write down the results of the spells that you are making. It's very important for you to have your notebooks. Also, which is so beautiful when you grab your notebooks from when you started and the notebooks that you have now, and you see the evolution of your mind and of your understanding of magic. Having your own notebook, your journal, is absolutely beautiful. Last but not least, which is, you need your guidance books. You need the books that you're going to be utilizing for guidance, for you to do your own research, for you to get your references from. It's very important that you collect few books. You don't have to have hundreds of books. Just make sure that when you're going to do your magic, you're going to have a few books that are going to guide you in the magic that you are creating. I'm going to be making a video on all these things as well. These are the top 10 worst and best for me. Please let me know if there's anything else that you want me to share with you when it comes to the best this and the worst that. Again, thank you so very much if you stay all the way through, witches. There's new things coming to the website. Please make sure you check the website. There's a lot of awesome stuff. I am so excited to share this with you, that I'm going to be sharing with you on the website. Remember, I have the hex kit. It's going fast and the quantity is limited. If you want the hex kit, make sure to go into my website and purchase it, because I don't think I'm going to be doing any more after this batch. Maybe later on in a couple of months, but I'm done with that. If you have a specific spell kit that you want me to do for you, inbox me at layerofthewitch@yahoo.com, layerofthewitch@yahoo.com. Witches, I am so excited to share all these things with you. And it's so important for you to do your research and stay very smart. But above all, witches, you must stay very, very wicked. Bye.